Alright guys, ZFR back here, and yesterday we got our first look at The Last of Us 2 story trailer. It gave us a really in-depth look about the story and what it's going to be about. So I'm very excited to kind of go in and talk about this trailer, give my thoughts on some of the things we saw. And of course, I'm probably going to do a few videos going over certain things in this trailer, but this is just going to be the kind of overall big things that I noticed within the trailer video. I also should have a reaction up by tomorrow for those of you who are interested in that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. But before we do, really quickly, just a warning, I am actually pretty sick right now, so my apologies if I sound weird in this video. If I accidentally sneeze or something, I'll try my best to cut those out. But yeah, anyway, getting into this trailer, pretty good trailer. Gave us a really good idea of what this story is going to be about. Naughty Dog has already kind of explained that this game is going to be about hate and, you know, kind of like revenge for a lover or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm hoping that there is something much bigger to the story, which I think it is, because the plot that this trailer sets up with Dana getting killed, I don't know, to me it just kind of doesn't seem like this big massive thing that I was worrying about, or that I really even care about as a Last of Us fan. So it's not really, I get it, Ellie liked her, but it seemed, I wonder how close her and Ellie were, because it seemed like they were just kind of getting together in these past few trailers. So the fact that Ellie's going to go on this massive killing spree on what looks like it may be or may not be across the country or across a long distance, I'm just kind of wondering what the heck. There's going to be more to it, obviously. That's all I'm saying. So I did see a couple people worried about that. They're saying that seems like kind of a weak baseline story for the game, but I clearly think it's going to be a lot more than that. I think we are also going to have to deal with that massive conflict of Joel lying to Ellie at the end of the first game about the cure. And as a matter of fact, for people who may have missed it, in this trailer we do see Ellie wearing a gas mask, which is something she just didn't have to do in The Last of Us 1 because she was immune to the infection. So what this kind of leads me to believe, maybe her immunity has kind of worn off. I don't know how they would ever figure that out. Or maybe she's just wearing it for show or whatever, or maybe, you know, it's not this big thing where people realize that, oh crap, she's bitten. After all, doesn't she have like the tattoo over the bite mark? Isn't that what the tattoo is? So with that being said, maybe, you know, she kind of just hides the fact that she's immune to the virus, because that could obviously raise some alarms. A lot of people could start making some demands or wanting to, you know, pursue that whole cure theory, which Joel clearly knows, you know, is going to lead to the same thing he was so afraid of at the end of the first game. Which, speaking of Joel, we did get to see him at the end of this trailer finally. A lot of people have been going with the Joel is already dead theories. Sorry, kind of misspoke there, but yeah, I never really was one of those people. I always thought Joel was going to be a decent sized part of this game. Maybe he'll be dead by the end of this game. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be in the third installment as well, and that's where he'll finally die. After all, don't forget, people, that The Last of Us was pretty much based off of Joel and Ellie's relationship. I mean, that's what the whole game was pretty much about. That's what really created the story and brought the story to life and gave us that amazing story that we all love. So something tells me Naughty Dog might not kill Joel off as fast as people think they would. Also, a lot of people are under the impression that Joel is this super old guy, when in reality Joel isn't that old in this game. Yes, he is old, but he's not even, according to the Last of Us 1 timeline, he should have quite a few more years before he hits the big 60. So with that being said, in this game, Joel should technically be in his early 50s, considering he was in his late 40s in the first Last of Us. So with that being said, Joel's not really as old as people seem to be acting like he is. Yeah, he's old, but at the same time, like, it's not like he's to the point where he needs to be going around in a wheelchair or anything, you know. He's still like 50. He's probably like around 52 or something like that. So yeah, he can still get around a little bit. Obviously he's going to be slower than he used to be, but still, he's not like this ancient dinosaur quite yet. So yeah, I do think he obviously can survive this. But anyway, getting back to the trailer, the graphics were freaking amazing. Obviously the animation is something I can't wait to witness for myself with this game. I love the detailed animations in the combat and all the little moves and stuff. Just when they're walking or riding the horses, the animation is so freaking awesome. The fact that they put that much work into animation, that they put all these different little animations and character movements in there, and it's so awesome. And for me, that really just amps up the immersion factor by a lot. So that's why I think of it. Technically, the combat obviously looked amazing. We gotta look at all the different types of infected. I believe we saw runners, we saw clickers. I don't think we saw stalkers. But we did get to see the bloaters, and oh my god, the bloaters look crazy. There's going to be dogs in this game now as enemies, and who knows, maybe animals will be a bigger part of this game. They weren't really a threat in the first one, mostly because most animals, you know, they just didn't get infected, and I'm guessing that the infected probably, you know, would chase after wild animals all the time. So that's probably one of the reasons the deer from Last of Us 1, where we got to play as Ellie, was such a big deal. You know, it was such a rare sight to see it. But anyway, moving on from that, something else I do kind of want to mention is we already know Naughty Dog is kind of experimenting with making more open world-ish games. I don't think Last of Us Part 2 is going to be a complete open world game, but I definitely think it's going to have some of those bigger areas like Uncharted, Lost Legacy, and stuff like that. So with that being said, I think we saw a couple instances of that throughout this trailer. It just looks like you can go super far distance and just freely roam around, which really excites me. What Naughty Dog might do with that, we already saw a pretty good example of it in the last trailer, where, you know, Ellie pretty much went extreme distance from point A to point B. You know, there could be different firefights in different locations. She dragged the fight over to all these other different locations and ended in this little store. So with that being said, I don't know. To me, the map design, I'm really interested to see the ins and outs of the map design here, especially since we're seeing things like boats and horses, which look like they're being used pretty frequently. I do think we are going to have some of those bigger levels here in The Last of Us Part 2 that we can free roam around, kind of. So I'm excited for that. The weapons look amazing, like the effects and everything. Like, man, the one dude with the shotgun, that was freaking great. More car stuff at the end there. You see the infected try to grab her out of the car. But yeah, overall, really awesome trailer. And as for going back to like the main plot of the story, I do think most of this game is going to take place after, obviously, you know, Dina or whoever gets killed. I'm pretty sure it's Dina. And I actually think that it might be more than her. I think multiple people might get killed at the beginning of this game to kind of send Ellie on this quest for revenge. Also, I'm hearing a rumor going around that it's actually this Asian guy who kills Dina out of jealousy, because if you remember from the previous trailer, it's implied that him and Dina used to go out, and there's the whole foreshadowing thing with her telling Ellie they should be terrified of you, this, that, and the third. So it seems like a possibility to me. Maybe they abandoned Tommy's community or something like that, or maybe they try to kill Ellie but she gets away. Who knows what happens, but obviously it's going to be pretty drastic because it's going to send her out on this insane quest. So that would be interesting if the cult group, the religious group that we've been seeing in all the gameplay and trailers, actually was a group that just kind of gets in Ellie's way along her journey in searching for this one target, which kind of makes a little bit more sense to me, but also kind of sounds like it could make for a more interesting story. So I'm excited to see that. But the way Tommy was talking in the trailer, it does sound like the cult group is the ones who committed the crime. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I feel like absolute crap. I am so sick, and all I want to do is take a nap before I have to go to work later. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Like I said, we're going to cover the trailer a little bit more, break it down some more later on. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave likes and everything down below. And I will see you guys on the next one. ZFR out.